What up, fam? Pastor Punk Rock, live from Playa del Carmen, Mexico. Things don't always go the way you think they're going to go, especially in Mexico. Don't sleep on the fact that in Mexico, things don't always go according to plan. So you have to learn to adapt and move. You got to move fast sometimes. Let's just say everything worked out. God bless me like he always does. God bless me. He gave me everything I needed, everything I wanted. It comes back once again to that time frame. May not have been when I wanted it, but God knew what I needed. God knew what I wanted. And God blessed me once again and gave me those things. So it brings me to another point that in America, everybody's so focused on themselves. And they want everything for free, and they want these handouts. They think that the American idea, the American experiment, is getting what you want for free when you want it. It's not the way America was built. First of all, it's not a democracy. If you call it a democracy, you ought to kill yourself or get out of the country. It's not a democracy. It's a republic. I'm going to explain the difference in a democracy and a republic. In a democracy, everybody gets a vote. That vote counts, and the popular vote always wins. That's not what a republic is, and that's not how America's founded. If we had that, we would have the East Coast and the West Coast controlling everything every year. The middle of America, which is the breadbasket and the salad bowl, would never have a say in anything. They would never have their voice heard. So we have an electoral college and representatives to represent the people. The people get to vote. Those votes are recognized by your representatives in the electoral college. And let's take like Montana, for instance. Montana is a small state. The population probably doesn't equal Los Angeles. I don't have the data off the top of my head. Listen, not an economist, okay? I don't do this for a living. I don't talk numbers for a living. But what I'm saying is people in Montana are very important because of the agriculture and the things they produce. And it affects the gross domestic product of the country. So their vote is just as important as somebody in New York or just somebody in Los Angeles. So if you take away the vote from people in Wyoming, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, skip the oil stuff, but everything else, if you skip their votes down the center of that country, you lose the interest of the people that are absolutely important to that country. So the popular vote cannot control the politics of the nation. It cannot happen, or it's going to lead to ultimate corruption. That's why we have an electoral college. If you don't understand these things, you should not be voting. Go take a civics class, go take an economics class, take a refresher course on the Constitution, read the Federalist Papers. Understand these things before you vote, before you bitch, before you complain. Because America is set up the way it is by the founding fathers. They knew this. They saw this 200 and some years ago. They knew this would happen. So they made sure that they protected the interests of the entire country, not just the West Coast and the East Coast, where the highest populations are. You should understand these things if you're voting. I want you all to vote. You should vote. Everybody should vote. Your vote does matter. I'm not trying to tell you your vote doesn't matter. It does 100% because your representatives take those votes and they parlay those into their votes. And the Electoral College makes decisions based on your votes. So your votes are very important. But it is not a democracy. It's a democratic process for a republic that was founded over 200 years ago. Well, I'm 52, so it was like 250, 249 years ago. So understand these things before you go out there and you run your mouth and you should vote. You should take classes. You should go to school. You should learn these things. Take refresher courses. I'm 52. I forget things all the time. I have to refresh myself. Don't base your ideas off of news, social media, any of these other things. Don't do that. Put your faith in God. God's going to guide you. And use your head. You're intelligent. Some of you are. Some of you are pretty stupid. I'll be honest with you right now. Some of you are pretty stupid. But it just is what it is, man. Everybody can't be smart, right? So let's bring it back and focus on the point we're talking about. You're so caught up on wanting everything for free in America. You want free health care. You want a free driver's license. You want all these things, right? But an American citizen can't get all these things for free. Now, I understand when an immigrant comes to this country and they want, not this country, when an immigrant comes to America and they want a better life, give them a little helping hand. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. If they do it legally and they go through the process and they get their papers and they become a citizen legally, absolutely. Why would you not want to help people out? That is the American dream. But if you want to come there illegally and bitch and cry and complain and talk about you want this for free, you want that for free, and you don't want to work and you're being held back, any country you go to in the world, you're going to be held back because you're not a national. You're not a citizen of that country. You're not a naturally born citizen. I'm held back in Mexico because I'm not Mexican. I know. I look like my name should be Juan or Pablo. I look completely Hispanic. You would never be able to pick me out in a crowd of Mexicans here in Mexico. But I'm not. So I'm held back by a lot of things. So put that in perspective. You can't go to any other country and just do what you want to do. If I walk in to any municipality here in Mexico and tell them, that's what I'm here to do this, I'm going to do this, you know what they'll tell me? Get out of here, gringo. They don't give a crap what I have to say. And they shouldn't. It is their country. I am a guest in their country. I should acclimate myself to their ways, not vice versa. You come to America, bring your culture, bring your food, bring everything, bring your music, bring everything with you, bring it. You don't have to leave it at the door, but you are not going to come to another country and tell them they have to assimilate to your ways because you think you're right. If you were so right, stay back in your country that was so good, right? If your country was so good and your ways were working so well, why are you in America? So think about that. Process these things. Down here in Mexico, I can't even get a job. I don't want a job. If I did, I couldn't. They will not let me work. They will not let me work in Mexico because I am not a Mexican citizen. And I understand that because that would be taking jobs away from the people that need jobs here. So how would that make sense if I came here and took one of their jobs? How would that make sense in any way? So it's the same thing when you go to America. I understand you want a job. You have to do it legally. You have to be on a work visa. You have to have some documentation of why you're there, and you're there doing it right, and then you're allowed to get a job. Just like here, I could go through all kinds of processes and all kinds of garbage, and I can get a job here. I don't want one. I'm not going to do it. Motorcycles everywhere. It's pretty awesome. So don't go to another country trying to tell people what they got to do, and they got to fit your ways, and they got to fit into your playbook, because that's not going to happen ever. That is never going to happen in life. And don't ever sleep on the fact that politicians in general don't care about you or me. In America either. They don't care about the average citizen. Why would they? What do we have to offer? Tax dollars, some revenue. But the average person, if they take me or you out of the mix, let's just say we died tomorrow, would it affect them? Would it affect the economy? The answer is no. And it shouldn't. It's one person. So your life doesn't matter. Black lives don't matter. White lives don't matter. Hispanic lives don't matter. Your life doesn't matter, and my life doesn't matter. Not to the government. It matters to God. And that's the important thing. God cares. Now, with that said, assimilate yourself to the country and the culture. Don't lose yours. I'm 100% Irish, and I am proud to be Irish. People tell me all the time I need to let go of my Irish pride and my stubbornness. Ain't gonna happen. I do the best I can to assimilate Mexico. I'm learning the language. I'm doing all these things, dating Mexican women, all these things. I'm not letting go of my Irish pride and kiss my ass. Kiss my Irish ass. Ain't gonna happen. But it doesn't mean I'm trying to make everybody here become Irish. It doesn't mean I'm trying to make everybody here think that, oh my gosh, Ireland's such an amazing country. Ireland's a dump. It's been a dump for hundreds of years. It's getting better, but it's been a violent dump for hundreds of years. So don't sleep on the fact that your culture doesn't matter. Mine doesn't matter. Yours doesn't matter. Nobody cares about what you have to say or think or do. You are not that important. God cares. God's the only one that's ever going to care about you. That's it. Everybody else doesn't care. You understand that? They do not care what you think. Learn to be you. Learn to assimilate yourself to the culture and become a citizen. Don't ask for free handouts when you don't need them. The welfare system is completely corrupt and it's completely broken and shot. Yes, you do need a welfare system in any country. You're not getting one here in Mexico, but in any civilized Western country, you need a welfare system. There's times in life when everybody needs help. They need a helping hand. They need a lift up. You need to pick them up and help them. And that is the humane Christian thing to do. What is not the Christian humane thing to do is to sit back and say, I'm not going to work today. I want everything for free. God doesn't call you to do that. God hates lazy people. I have a video on that, how God hates lazy people. Don't ever sleep on the fact that if you are lazy and you do not want to work, God is not happy with you, and you are not living a Christ-based life. Be willing to work hard. Be willing to do what it takes. I'm lucky. I'm down here. I have enough. I'm self-sufficient. I'm fine. I researched these things before I moved here, so I understood what I was walking into. I did not come here expecting handouts and freebies and all these things. I didn't do that because I understood that. So understand that when you go to a different country, you're not going to get free handouts just to get free handouts. If you're struggling, times are tough at your job, all these things, they happen, I get that. That's what the system is built for, and that's what it's built around, is people that need help, not people that need to be babysat the rest of their lives. You should not get exponential welfare for having exponential amounts of children. I know that sounds harsh to say, but think about this. Why are you rewarded for having more children when you could not afford the ones you already had? That's an abuse of the system. That's an abuse of power. That's not what God calls you to do. That's not what God says you should do as a Christian and as a Christ-based individual. It doesn't tell you to pump out more kids to get more money to subsidize your income. If you already can't afford the two you have, why do you need two more? I mean, the money's not that much different. I mean, I can't imagine, right? It's not like you're making $40,000 a year and then you're going to make $240 for having two kids. I'm pretty sure it's not that. Never been on welfare. I've never had kids. Well, I mean, I have kids. I've just never given birth to a child. And I don't have, you know what I'm saying? Don't sleep on the fact that I have kids and I hate them all. Trust me. I love them most of the time. But you should not be rewarded for being irresponsible. I don't believe in abortion. I'm a Christian. I don't believe in abortion. But I believe in adoption. I know the adoption waiting list because my aunt and uncle adopted a kid years and years and years ago. The adoption waiting list is so long, it's ridiculous, especially for a newborn baby. Put the child up for adoption, give it a chance at a better life. If you cannot provide that, that is the most loving Christian thing you can do, is give that child a chance at a life. I know it's tough. I'm not a woman. I don't know. I've never been in that situation myself. But there's options out there. There's things you can do other than abortion. Explore your options. So yeah, don't rely on it. Don't go to another country expecting to get what you want out of it. I came to Mexico. A lot of things worked out awesome. A lot of things were amazing. Don't get me wrong. I am blessed. I'm blessed. God did bless me. But there's a lot of things that didn't work out the way I thought too. Me. And we don't have the money. Go there, do the best you can. That's what I do. Make the most of every day, man. Make the most of every day. Do what you got to do to be the best person you can be. Do what you got to do to be a productive, good Christian citizen in that country. Walk around and portray the person you want them to think you are. It's pretty basic. I mean, it's really simple. That's 85 degrees today and beautiful in Playa del Carmen. The women are gorgeous. I mean, the other day I was laughing. I was telling my ex-wife, I said, damn, I don't know if it's thick chick day in Mexico or what, but every chick out was just like, you know, I was just like, man, this is all bad for me. I got to get out of this. So I went back home, you know, because it was getting ugly for a minute. But I came here for all that. The sun, the weather, the beautiful. I got the jungle behind me. I'm at Playa del Carmen, which is a big city. It's cheaper than Tulum, like all these great things. You know what I mean? So quit asking for handouts is what I'm getting at, man. Go get yours. Grab that brass ring. Climb that step, man. Get that job you want. Get that promotion you want. Get these things. You can earn them. You can get them yourself. It is possible. Yeah. Yeah, it takes hard work. It takes effort. What doesn't in life? You'll be rewarded in the end. It'll pay itself off in the end. So why wouldn't you? If I can do all these things, like I said, get out of prison with a felony, a violent felony at that, federal gang validation, I was born to fail. Got off parole, started a new life, did all these things with all these things that everybody says holds them back. They didn't hold me back. I succeeded. I'm tattooed head to toe, tattoos on my face. Still had a killer job, 6-figure income. As a violent felon out of California prison system with a federal gang validation, and changed my whole life. You telling me you can't do it? You're telling me because you came from another country. Because you can't do it? You ain't got a felony on your record. People like people from other countries. You can say they hate all you want. Yeah, there's racist idiots and there's just stupid people. But the majority of people, they hear if you're from Lithuania, Croatia, Ireland, England, wherever, except Canada. We all hate Canadians. No, I'm kidding. I love my Canadian friends. People love that. They're interested. They want to be your friend. They want to talk to you. They want to learn. People want to learn about that. It's something they never experienced. So they want to know how life is in those countries. I have friends from all over the world. I have friends from everywhere in the world. And I love that. And that's what's made me the person I am, is by interacting with them. So don't act like you got some crutch that you got to lean on. Don't act like you've got so much holding you back that you can't do it. I don't want to hear that. That's garbage, and you know. That's laziness, man. And that's not usually from the foreigners. That's usually from Americans that are born in America that are lazy and worthless and want everything for free. So don't sleep on that fact, man. It's not even foreigners. Every foreigner I know is hardworking as hell. They get up early every day. They bust their butt 12-hour days to make their money, support their families. For the most part that I know anyway. So I'm going to wrap this up, man. I love y'all. I'm not here judging you. I'm not here putting you down. I love you. Just quit bitching and complaining, man. Go out and make a change. If you don't like something, you can change. I love y'all, man. Stay Christ-based, stay punk rock, stay in the Word, get a good Bible, get a church. God bless and amen.
We annihilated the world before your very ears. So goodbye, everybody. And remember, please, for the next day or so, the terrible lesson you learned tonight.